Hi, Vicky Kelty here. And the first thing I have to do is say I'm so sorry because I scheduled this for Tuesday and today's Thursday. Mm, sounds like somebody forgot. So normally I do my lives on Wednesday, thus my internal confusion. But here I am, and that's the important thing, right? I did remember that I had this eventually. Sorry. But let's jump right in. We're going to look at trivia today. So I brought three different kinds of trivia with me. And the first one is a specific to language learning trivia. And I like all ways of practicing um, grammar, vocabulary, what have you. And so I love when there are things that are adapted to language learning, and I love taking just run-of-the-mill games and using those as well. So I'm going to show you and talk about how you can use them. Basically more than like show you and talk about, as I said, because I already have a video about that. I'm going to give you the idea of what to do, and you are going to do it. Heyo. Okay, so with this one, this is from English First. It's an educational game called Guess and Travel. So if you have access to that, you can grab your copy. There's like a game board and everything, but I'm just using the cards. So this one has four categories, and the answers are right here on the card. When that happens, obviously, if you're playing by yourself, what you want to do is to cover the answer so you don't cheat. One of the things that Well, let's play around just the normal way before I get ahead of myself. So for the first one, they have phrasal verbs, and they have sometimes they're fill in the blanks, sometimes they are make a sentence using this phrasal verb. Um, any other options that come up here? So do you have a favorite phrasal verb that you want to practice? If you do, then I would just say, like, if you don't have this game, you can create your own version, and you just take a phrasal verb that you like, um, go out and use it in a sentence, or what was the other one? Create a sentence that you would have to put that phrasal verb into the middle of. So I will give you, well, I was going to give you a minute, but look, the timer's already started. I will give you this amount of time to do that. Oh my gosh. It was like 10 seconds. You have 10 seconds to complete this task. Did you do it? Did you get it? Oh, you're so good. All right, next one is irregular verbs. This is a great one. Who doesn't love to practice their irregular verbs? Well, maybe we don't like to practice them, but we definitely could do with spending some more time practicing them. I know that there are irregular verbs in French that like to give me a run for my money. So, if you had I'm so bad. I'm trying not to like say the actual information on their card because you should go out and get their game. Um, so I'm trying to think of an irregular verb on the spot, and you can never think of things on the spot. Okay, how about write? If you were going to give me a sentence with write, with the verb write, WRITE, like I write letters to my family via WhatsApp messages. Because I don't do the handwritten letters these days, but So if you were gonna tell me you could just state the verb, but what's the fun of just stating the verb? Tell me this one I feel like you could totally do in 10 seconds. Let's get the timer down. So I want you to give me a sentence with right in the past, and then give me a sentence with right, how about in the present perfect? So, okay, ready, steady, go. See if you can come up with two sentences. You can also use whatever verb you want. I'm just throwing right at you. And three, two, one. Maybe you got more than two sentences. You probably did because you're awesome like that. Okay, next one is pairs of adjectives. So sometimes, are they all the opposite? Yeah, they're just the opposite. Find the opposite of whatever word it is. So if the word was big, what's the opposite? If the word was um, happy, what's the opposite? And another thing you could do is to try and think of what are some like multiple options. Like if you wanted to expand it to more than just sad, what else could I say other than sad? Are there some other adjectives that I know? And then you could really, really, really add to it and see if you could come up with like nouns or verbs but let's not get too crazy. So, the opposite of big, the opposite of happy, which I already told you if you were listening. Opposite of long, the opposite of green. The opposite, oh, time's out. So you can make these more complex. I know I gave you some kind of basic ones. And the last category is other. So in the category of other, they have, how do you say a certain time? Like the exact time it is right now. How would you say that in words? 12:58 p.m. in the afternoon. How do you spell the word Tyrannosaurus? I couldn't do it. Don't make me do it. I'm not going to do it. But could you do that? Could you spell Tyrannosaurus? And could you spell it out loud, not just write it down? Like, could you say T, Y? I'm not going to continue. You do it. Here's your timer. I can't hear you. Are you spelling it? But this is really good practice. So I hope you're doing it. Okay. Now that's the education first activity. And just giving you an idea of when we have an activity that is with um, that's made specifically for language learning is what I want to say. I lost my train of thought. Now, the next game is from Ridley's Game Room, and this is a food and drink quiz. So if you like food or you like drinks, this might be the game for you. And this is another one where the answers are marked. So you can't even give yourself um I don't know why there's multiple answers marked. Maybe we read the instructions because I've played this before, but I don't remember that. So the correct answer is highlighted all the way through, and teams are awarded 1 point for each correct answer. Oh, so it doesn't say Three ways to play. Just ask the question. Give, no. Oh, okay. I see why. Because the one that's circled in red is to give you like a 50-50. So if you were playing this with another person, this could be really effective. But if you're playing it by yourself, you're just gonna have to cover all the answers and you won't be able to um, you won't be able to get any help on the questions. So let's think of a drink. What, I don't know if this is the exact ingredients, but what drink is made with tomato juice, vodka, and maybe like some pepper? I don't know. It has a bit of like a spice to it. So, if you want to take a stab in the dark at what drink that is, or tell me that I'm completely incorrect and that those are not the ingredients of said drink, you have your timer starting now. Well, it already started. I'm really interested to hear if people are gonna call me out on that one. Um, and let's see, it was food or drink. Let's see if there are any foods that I know. Oh, okay. This is something that, again, these aren't the actual things on the cards. I'm just making up my own, which is why I don't have the ingredients right. This is something that I love when in Nebraska that is made with um, tater tots, rice, ground beef, or if you're vegetarian, you could use little meat crumbles like fake meat or a type of tofu. Um, green beans. Did I already say green beans? And cream of mushroom soup or like a cream of cheese soup, I think would work. And you pop it in the oven. It's like a type of casserole. So, anybody have a guess as to what that is? Vicky's favorite dish? I think those are all the ingredients. One of the ingredients is in the name. Time's up. So that's this game. It was super, super duper easy. I like that game. I like the easier the better with trivia, right? Am I right? And then the last one, which is another one that's really specific because this one was food and drink. So I sometimes it's nice to have a game that gives you specific things to practice, especially if you are like interested in growing your, like maybe you want to learn more foods and drinks in English. So a trivia game focusing on that could be really fun. And honestly, if you don't have any of these games, the last one is the tried and true Trivial Pursuit Friends game. If you don't have this, you can go online and look up, like people have made so many trivia quizzes just online that you can go and find. But obviously, I recommend the game because that's so much fun. But um, these cards are in order. We cannot lose them. We cannot mess up the order because I have versions in other languages. So I have to keep them in order so that if I need to look up one of the cards. Okay. Oh, I did have. So the nice thing about these is that they're separated by the, we have a special guest today, that they're separated by the seasons. So that does help a little bit with your, if you have like special friends knowledge. But the, um, what is, okay, here's a difficult one that I don't know off the top of my head. What is the Oh, actually, I think I might know. Oh my gosh, Janet and Janice is trying to get inside this box. I've created a game for the cats as well. So, if you needed a cat game, just give them a Trivial Pursuit box. So, my question for you is what card, when Chandler and Joey's apartment gets robbed, Joey is going through a deck of cards and he says that the robbers took what card from the deck of cards? We're talking just a regular old poker deck. Oh, um, how many seconds do you want to answer this? Like 2 seconds? I think you're really smart. You know this. You know what card it is. Yep, that's it. You got it. You're so wise. All right, now reverse it. The other thing you can do is take all of these cards and go, this one's going to be really challenging. So take the answer and see if you can come up with a question. So if we had, there could be tons of answers. So sorry, tons of questions that you come up with. If we have the her mom is a cat, or let's just say that her mom is a cat, what could be the question that they had asked us on the trivia thing? And if you know the season, bonus points. So her mom is a cat. Again, this is a short one. So I'm just going to give you this amount of time. What could be the question? Oh my gosh, your time's up. Easy peasy. Super quick. All right, let's do the food and quiz. If I gave you, okay, no, let's oh, okay. This is my favorite cocktail. So I'm going to tell you the name and you have to say the question. Because remember I said for the other one, I said like what drink is made from blah, blah, blah. So that's the format you can use. So if you were going to say a Cape Cod, that's the drink. How would you describe it? I'm going to give you more time for this one. I want to hear what she'd say. How would you describe a Cape Cod? Do you know what a Cape Cod is? Time. And for the last one, if I said spoke, what would you say? Well, I'm going to give you more. If I say spoke, what would be um the oh my gosh, I just had a brain fart. The infinitive. Thank you. What would be the infinitive? If I said the firefighters came to the fire, what would be the phrasal verb? And if I said, mm, what's the last one that I'm going to do? Bum, 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 bum. Oh, no, wait. Oh, I'm not sure I'm going to spell this right. Let me do a word English. Okay. So that's the infinitive for spoke, the fill in the blank, this phrasal verb. What was my sentence? The firefighter the fire, and English. Oh, and I forgot the opposite ones. Well, you can think of the two opposites. Okay. Well, I hope that that was sufficient practice for you with different forms of trivia and that you've seen all the ways that you can do it. I'm going to spend some time doing trivia for my own French practice now. So I will check you later. Bye.